All right, people. So I want to do a little chat here on the debate. Now, I already did a video talking about how loser Holt was really a complete conspirator with Hillary Clinton and the Democrats against Trump. It was basically, this was not a one-on-one fight here. This was a two-on-one handicap match against Trump. Clearly, they did not bring up Benghazi. Loser Holt did not bring up Benghazi, did not bring up the emails, did not bring up the Clinton Foundation scandals. And there was a thing on Drudge Report today I was reading. He asked Trump 6 follow-up questions, and he did not ask Clinton one. So who won the debate? That's the big question. Well, according to the online polls that I've seen, the big ones, in the Time one, he's up. It's interesting with the Time poll too. It was, I was looking at it. It was like 800,000. There was a screenshot of it. There was like 800,000 votes, and Trump was winning 59% to 41%. And then 300,000 votes later, Clinton's tied 50-50. So is there any manipulating of the poll there? Possibly, I don't know. Just wanted to bring that up. I mean, we see the manipulation of the polls, you know, the actual presidential polls with the oversampling of Democrats. You know, CNN does a post-debate poll saying who won the debate, and they're like, oh, overwhelmingly it was like 60-some percent, 70-some percent say Clinton won the debate. But then look at the poll. The poll sample is like 43% Republican, something like 19% Republican, 43% Democrat, 19%, 21% Republican. It was like twice the Democrats than Republicans. It's ridiculous. That's what they do. They oversample Democrats, or they skew the polls in some way. But again, who won the debate? Let's get back on topic here. I thought it was pretty much a tie. You know, you could argue maybe Clinton, you know, edged him a bit. You know, I'm trying to look at this from the eyes of an independent voter, or an undecided voter, or somebody who's, you know, trying to be unbiased here. You know, you could say maybe Clinton edged him a bit, but I'm gonna say it's a tie, because I don't think this debate is really going to swing voters one way or the other. I don't think you're going to see a big jump in the polls for Trump or Clinton after this debate. I think it's going to stay pretty much the same, you know, them being neck and neck. I thought Trump did a great job at first of hammering Clinton on TPP. You saw Clinton kind of she kind of hesitated and was you know, like her words were becoming, you could see she was disturbed by Trump calling her out, saying it was a gold standard. And this is the thing, you know, again, you got loser Holt again asking Trump follow-up questions, and then Hillary comes out and says, well, that's the gold standard of trade agreements. And she says, oh, I didn't say that. And when it turns out she did. Even the most liberal fact checkers, the fact checkers, which are basically opinion checkers, are saying that she said it was a gold standard. Yet you don't really see that in the news. You don't see that at the top headlines. It's probably going to be all about how bad Trump did and shit. And you didn't see loser Holt follow up with that question. Oh, well, he actually did say that. You know, so it's just bullshit. I thought I thought Trump started out very well hammering her on shit. But you know, people were like, well, Trump was on the defensive at the last 2/3 of the debate. Well, I mean, look at the fucking question. I mean, you got to answer the questions. That's the thing. If loser Holt asks you a question about the birtherism, or about some bullshit phony lawsuit 30 years ago dealing with racism, you can't fucking go like, well, I'm going to talk about something else, or your tax returns. You can't talk about something else, because that makes it seem like you're covering it up. So it's hard to, you kind of got to answer it the best you can. And again, Lester Holt asked Trump about his tax returns, but fails to ask Clinton about her emails, which are way more important than Trump's tax returns. So it's just, the debate was so fucking favoring Clinton. But I thought Trump could have did maybe a better job of hammering Clinton in the last part of the debate with her scandals. I thought he did a good job. He called her out on the super predator thing. He hammered her on how the Middle East is a disaster. I thought he could have went more into specifics, like you voted for the Iraq War. So I thought he could have hammered her more on her mistakes. Should have talked more about the emails, because that's a big thing that's driven down her unfavorability is the emails. So when he brought up, I'll release my tax returns when you release your emails. That was a great line, but he should have kept going on it. Clinton, you stored emails on an unclassified server. And I know I'm kind of nitpicking. It's kind of hard. I see all these pundits saying, "Oh, say this, say that," but it's fucking hard in the heat of the moment. It's easy for me to look at it and say, "Well, you should have said this." While I'm looking back, Trump is fucking, being watched by tens of millions of people. It's in the heat of the moment. So, you can't be perfect. So it's easy for people to say, "Oh, if he does this, he'll win. If he does that, he'll lose." I just think that I'm just giving my opinion here. But I like I said, it wasn't really a win for either candidate. I didn't think. But the post-debate polls, which are unscientific, of course, but they had Trump winning. I think a CNBC poll had Trump. 2/3 of the people said Trump, and that was a pretty big sample size. Like I said, Trump won the Time poll, which had over 1 million votes. It was at 55% Trump last time I checked. So, I think it's basically a tie, this debate. I don't think it'll have much impact in the polls, but we still have 2 more to go. That's a thing people might forget. We still have 2 more debates to go. I think Trump looked, you could say presidential in this debate. Maybe he was just trying to do that, look presidential here, show he can be presidential. He didn't really do too many things that were controversial, I guess. But like I said, we have two more debates to go where you could hammer Clinton on whatever the fuck. We'll see how that goes. But the one thing I do know is Loser Holt was so biased against Trump. That was ridiculous. So let me know what you think. Did Trump win? Did Trump lose? Did Clinton win? Whatever the fuck. I thought it was basically a tie. I thought, like I said, Trump did a good job of hammering Clinton on some issues. Thought he could have went a little further. But there wasn't really anything that, like I said, I don't think it's gonna, the polls are going to swing that much out of this debate. But there you go, people. There's pretty much my thought there on the first presidential debate.